Hey, welcome everybody, and welcome to a very fun episode 13. And yeah, I've got a little bit of fun, a little bit of a sneak peek today. By the time you see this though, this new little product may already be out. If it will in fact, because the one I've got is a prototype. Don't go away, just have a look at these intros and we're gonna come straight back and get into the fun stuff. Okay, see you soon. Welcome back everyone, and welcome to a lovely fun episode 13. Okay, now I've been lucky enough, as most of you know, I'm a Fujifilm Ambassador here in the UK. I've been a Fuji shooter for quite some time, and every now and again some of us ambassadors get to test out new products before they are released into general market and so forth and so on. Now, I've been very lucky to have a prototype product for testing prior to release. Unfortunately, I've only had it for a few days because I've got to give it back and I don't want to, and it's been fun. Now, we all know it's not the X-T3 because that's already been announced and all those details and spec are out. So what have I been testing? Yes, there's a lot of rumors on the sites. Let me show you that right now. I'm going to stretch in and get this one. You can't see it yet, can you? Okay, here it is, the new Fujifilm Gfx50R, the beautiful rangefinder medium format. Okay, now this is not a review and it's not a spec rundown, nothing like that. There's no price point. There's none of that sort of review stuff going on in this one today. Why? Because this is still a prototype that I've got. Although the design, physical design may be complete, the finishing on this isn't complete, and I've got some plastic doors and things like that, which is what you normally get in prototypes. And the main reason why it's not a full spec and product review is because obviously it's a prototype. But first thoughts, first views, I got to tell you what, I mean, I shoot the X Pro 2, I know a lot of people shoot the X100 and everything else, but you know, when you come up to the medium format, I love this thing. I love this thing. It's not going to be as small as some people, I think some people think it is in all the Rumours sites, and I know there's people in the US going, oh, it's going to be pocketable. No, it's not. It's too big to stick in your pocket, even without a lens. Okay, it's medium format. You can't fit that sensor in a micro 4/3 compact body, all right? But it's beautiful, it's lovely. Fujifilm have done a really nice job with this. Obviously, there's no optical and electronic EVF combo. This is purely just electronic viewfinder. But let's just go through some of the spec and initial thoughts and layouts, and we'll get to some of the other information in a moment. So this is the basic layout. So we have our lovely shutter speed top dial. It's been engineered a little bit. Exposure comp dial, our drive button. We have another button here which natively does ISO. A nice hard on off switch, which is quite nice. That's pretty much it on the top plate, apart from your shutter button. One nice feature we do have is we have a little knurled metal rotation dial here around your shutter button. Which natively actually whizzed through my ISO, but it is customizable from what I can see at the moment. Remember, these are all things from what I can see currently, and this is not a final version. But that's very, very good, very responsive. So I like that. So if you're out shooting, you just whiz through your ISOs from there without having to press this recessed button or whatever function you can apply to it. So really nice in that respect. Feels good in the hand. It's got a good thumb stop on the back. The finger grip is nice. So I was one of the lucky ones to be invited into a room here in the UK with Fuji Japan to discuss this and give our feedback and input of the things we'd like in it, the things that were missing, that everybody would want for their genre of photography. Now, I know Fujifilm have listened and they've put some of those extra features in that the majority of us agreed on. They won't put everything in because everybody wants the complete camera, and we know that doesn't exist, okay? But it's actually really, really nice, guys. Really, really nice. Back button layout is a little bit more minimal. We have no D-pad now, no D-pad on this. I find that a bit odd for the short time I've had it, but you soon get around it and you make a lot of selections with your joystick, and your menu button is also your OK button now. So I'm fine with that. It actually, you get used to it fairly quick. And I think the reason they've got rid of that is because we've got a touch screen on this one, but you also have swipe gesture as well from center to edge on all of these. And on this one, I can say this current version works really, really well. I've tried some other ones previously, not on this version, on a different camera system from Fujifilm, and I couldn't get on with it. But this one works straight away, very light. You just whip your finger off and it goes to whatever the gesture control is set. And again, that's customizable to a degree. But we've got the touch focus and touch screen like we've got on the GFX. So that's pretty cool. Minimal buttons here. Yes, we have some blanks, which as we know with the Fujifilm systems are customizable function buttons, autofocus, back button and things like that, which you can change, which is awesome. Our view mode, manual, continuous and single shutter on the back, focusing, sorry, on the back. And we have our traditional rear thumb dial, which we can also push in. Natively that's set for your level, which is quite good, but again, changeable. This one does have tilt screen. So this has got the same sort of tilt screen in this prototype as what your, those that have the XT2 that's got. So it's not a, sorry, it's just a pull out one. It doesn't flip round or even flip tilt. So it is just a pull out and give you a down and up sort of view. But it's, this is a sort of their rangefinder style camera, but having in medium format, it's pretty much the same insides as the GFX. Okay, so you got the 51.4 megapixels, 425 maximum focus points inside, etc., etc. All seems very similar. Obviously, it's not final version, so that may change. And we've got a Q button and things here, like we always do for the quick menu. Now, ergonomics, it's actually really nice. You gotta remember, it's medium format though. It is medium format. It's not gonna be the same size as your X Pro 2 or your XT100s or anything like that. We have our dual card slots in the side, which is excellent. We have HDMI port. Where is that? That's a mic. It's got a mic in. It is a 2.5, but it's got a mic in port on there, which is interesting. We have an HDMI port there, twin card slots there, and on the bottom we have another little port here, which has a DC input, and we have USB-C functionality on the bottom there, which is nice to see. And I do see a little screw lock in there, which is similar to what we have on a GFX, which is for a cable lock system. So who knows, tethering ability might be available too. It probably will be, being medium format, because I can see some people using this in studio just because it's really nice. And the battery is the same as the current GFX. So that is really, really nice. As again, a short preview. I've enjoyed using this. So I know when I tested the prototype of the GFX, when that came out, I was one of the lucky ones on the testing panel there. That was a brand new medium format mirrorless system, and the firmware wasn't even 50% complete. Get my teeth in. Don't know what's going on with my teeth today, Carol. Seem to be jumping out of my mouth and getting tongue-tied. But I had a lot of issues with it. Things weren't working properly and it was all over the place. But obviously that's already been bedded in now, and they won't have those issues with this. And I've not had one issue with this working. Battery life's been good as well. So I've really enjoyed it. It's been really nice and different to carry around in my GFX. So happy times with this. Price point I have no information of. I know the Rumours site saying it's going to be cheaper than GFX. Let's hope so. That can just be good for everybody. Thank you very much, Fujifilm. What other things has it got? Let's look at some of the bits I can talk about. Your diopter adjustment now is lockable, which is a big welcome if they needed that on all their cameras. So it just pulls out, you can adjust your diopter, and you push that in and it locks in place. There's no accidentally knocking it. Okay, so that's just beautiful. But size, well, let's bring in its brother. This is my GFX. There they are, side by side. So they're not too dissimilar in size, really. You know, not too dissimilar. Obviously, this one overall, the new Gfx50R is slimmer because you know, we don't have the big deep finger grip on it. We don't have that big extended EVF on the back or anything. So that's actually quite nice. Quite nice. Is it a bit longer? Marginal. Oh, probably about that much. Probably that much. Not a lot. Not a lot at all. So yeah. Not too dissimilar. Not too dissimilar. I think a lot of people will be happy with that. You know, taking into account it is medium format. Now, obviously, it's sort of coming style-wise. You know, that rangefinder style from the X Pro 2 would be its similarity, even though obviously it's medium format and this one isn't. So yeah, it is a bit bigger, but it's going to be. But it still looks really, really good. Really, really nice. Everything is so similar. Fuji's done a good job with this, you know, a really good job. I know the finishing on mine's not the final version and everything, but they've done a really good job. But when you compare the style, it's very similar. And when you compare the size, it's very similar. It's not as tall, it's not as thick, but it is a little bit wider. But only tiny, tiny, tiny. We can live with that. It's beautiful medium format, you know. Medium format's never going to be super small because your lenses are bloody huge as well for medium format glass. So, you know, if you love this style but don't want the size and the big glass, then that's your baby there, isn't it? Back to X Pro 2, which is a stunning system in itself anyway. From what I can see in menus, yes, we have video functionality in there. From memory, about 60p, something like that. But yeah, I've really enjoyed using it. It's been fun. Touch panel's good. It's all very responsive, as it has been previously on GFX. Also, we've got the swipe gesture control now, which is customizable, which is good. We've got USB-C, which I can see. We've got DC in. We've got HDMI out. Now, something I asked for in the original meeting was that obviously, even on GFX and XT and everything else, is that EVF technology and LCD technology in terms of color and resolution and everything to us is a little bit different, and you'll see that on their cameras that they never really look completely the same, and there's no way of calibrating them per se. I did do a YouTube video of how I do it with my GFX, how I calibrate my EVF to my LCD. Loosely calibrate is a loose term, and I said to Fujifilm that it would be nice if we could have more control on that, because they are slightly different technologies. If we could at least not just change the color saturation and brightness like it's already in our current systems, but if we could actually change the color balance a little bit in those so that they do marry up a little bit more and we can match those. So what we see is what we get pretty much on both. And I'm happy to say I can see that feature in there where you can change it on both EVF and on LCD. So thank you, Fujifilm, for that. And like I say, this isn't a complete system, this is a prototype. So I'm very lucky, and I'm sure by the time I'm allowed to release this, Fujifilm would have already done the press release launch of all the spec and info anyway. So you know, the details that I can give you are not any spec details whatsoever, but it's not about that, as we know, because it's a prototype, and I know I keep saying that, but it is. So, but overall, I like this a lot, and I find it very comfortable in the hand, even without the deep grip, and the eyepiece off the back is good. Obviously, if you're a left eye shooter, you're still going to have your nose squished against the screen. Teeth are coming out again. But if you're a right eye shooter, then rangefinders are actually really, really good, because you can still open this eye, and if you're like me, it just sits on my nose. It's perfect. But it's good. I love it. This is this is all it was, folks, just to show you a little introduction. Obviously, I can't release any imagery yet. I can't even read the raws out of this yet, unfortunately. Not in the prototype versions. I have been shooting them, but I can't read them. But I have been shooting the JPEGs and testing all the film simulation modes and focus tracking and all those kind of things. And focus peaking is beautiful in it, and for manual focus and everything like that. It's just as lovely as the GFX in a different style and form body in that lovely classic rangefinder style. You know, a bit like the old Mamiya 7s and things from the film days in the medium format, but it's actually a lot smaller than those. The weight of it is lighter than the GFX by feel. I don't know what the official figures are, but it does feel lighter. Actually not as light as an X Pro 2, especially not with the glass on. But I love it. I love it. Really good. Really good. A very nice camera to carry in your bag. And I don't know what else to say about it, really. I'm looking forward to reading the final spec myself, because I don't even have it. We don't get that privilege when we test prototypes. But I do like the extra bits and the node control and things like that. I'm sure it'll be weather sealed, as the majority of Fujifilm higher end cameras are, which is absolutely brilliant. So that has just been an absolute great pleasure to have this, and I feel very honored, and it's just been beautiful going out and shooting with this. It's been really, really nice. Nobody has really known that I've been shooting with it. Mind you, I haven't been around a lot of Fuji fans or Fuji shooters that would probably have a hawk's eye for something like that. I've made sure I've stayed away from that kind of environment. Just a little add-on, I've tested it with flash and ambient lights. I've done some daylight shoots, I've done some flash shoots, I've done some mixed lighting shoots. I've tested the TTL currently just to see if the hot shoe was working, and I can tell you this shoots HS high-speed sync as well, right up to 1/4000th of a second. And you have got some new shutter controls, electronic shutter controls in the menu systems. They've added some little variants of those, which obviously I can't go into details with. Similar to what's on the X-T3 anyway, to give you an idea. But that's it, guys. That's just my little wrap up today, and my feeling privileged to having this for test anyway. I just wish I had it for longer, because I have only had it for days, not even weeks. So who knows, maybe I can get another full production version or pre-production version, which will be complete for another little run. But it's been a joy testing the prototype. It's been lovely. I'm aware of what's not complete and what is, and internally I'm not 100% aware of what isn't complete, because we don't get told that information. But thank you, Fujifilm, for another privilege testing of something like this, and for allowing me to be part of the original feedback meeting on some of the details and spec on this as well. It's been an absolute privilege, and thank you. Of course, when it goes live, I will put some links in the comments below of where you can go and buy these as soon as they're released, or for pre-order. But thanks for watching, guys. I know I can't release it yet, and it's really bugging me, but as soon as you get the announcements, I will be able to release this footage at least, and then you can all see its form factor. I'm sure the leaks will be out before then from somewhere else across the pond anyway, like they always do. But yep, stay tuned in and we'll have some more. But thank you very much, and we look forward to seeing you guys soon in episode 14. So see you then. Thanks for watching, and you all take care now and keep shooting some amazing stuff. How could I go? You know, Callum, my assistant, has just nudged me because I forgot, so I've just come back after I said goodbye. I forgot to plug our new podcast channel. PODLAMANIA, okay, photo and video podcast. Just interviewing lots more people at the moment. So don't forget to subscribe to our PODLAMANIA podcast as well, please, folks. That's going to be really good. And we are doing some free giveaways on some of those episodes. So stay tuned. You've got to sign up to be eligible to win any of those free giveaways. So please do. There is a link in the comments below for you to drop onto that. And we'll look forward to you listening to us and the lovely creators that we interview on PODLAMANIA when those episodes are live. So stay tuned for that. And obviously for this one, don't forget to like, subscribe and share. I'll put my fingers there in case they do pop up. Like, subscribe and share. That means now they have got to go in, and don't forget to tick that bell for notifications, because if you don't, you won't get interesting goodies like this to look at. Not that I get them every week, of course, but you know, you'll miss out on fun stuff. And don't forget to give us some comments as well. Let us know the kind of things you'd like to see or hear, or even kit for us to review, and we'll see if we can make it happen. But thanks for joining me, and this time I am going to sign off and sign out, because I've got to get this boxed up, ready for courier collection this afternoon. It's because it's got to go back. See you later, guys. Take care.